For our final exercise, exercise 4, we're going to wrap this thing up by making walking lines for the chords which have their own bar, the chords that are one chord per bar. So zooming in on our F major 7 chord, all we're going to do now is we're going to add the notes of the triad into these bars. So we're not going to worry about the major 7 or the minor 7 or anything like that, just going to put in the triads. So the triad for F major 7 is F, A, and C. So I'm going to grab these notes here, and I'm just going to put in on beats 2 and 4 other notes that are in the triad. So we got an F here, let's go to an A, got a C here, and let's go to an F. So we have a nice note that joins beat 4 to beat 1 of the E minor chord. F to E is really close to each other, so that'll work nicely. B flat 7, I'll put in my other notes. So let's do the same thing. Let's actually just put in a D. So we've got B flat, D, and F for this chord. So I'll put in a D and I'll put in a B flat to lead into the A. That looks good. G7 and C7. I'll put in 2 B naturals. That looks good because my C is on beat 1 of the next bar, so I want to have a note that's, there we go, B. I want to have a note that's right next to the C. That would work quite nicely. And I'm going to look ahead again. I've got an F, a high F. So I can actually do the same thing. Let's just put in 2 E's. C, E, and G are the notes for that chord. For the G7, I didn't mention this, the notes are G, B, and D. Those are the triad notes for G7. The triad notes for C7 are C, E, and G. Okay, moving on to F major 7. What can I do? I'll do A and C again. So A and F again. So I'll put an A here, F, A, and C, and I'll put my F here. That line is done. B flat 7. The notes are B flat, D, and F. So I can do, what would be good? This would work, I guess. It's kind of a large jump, but I think it's going to work. We'll go down to a D and put a B flat here to lead to the A. Okay. I'm looking ahead here for my C. My C is on beat 1, so for this F major 7 chord, my notes are F, A, and C. Yeah, alright, let's just put in a C here, and I'm actually going to change this to a low F. Since we have a C on beat 1 in this bar, I kind of don't want to go to a C again, but I also don't want to go to an A, because it's going to be a slightly weird jump. It'll sound okay, but I think actually let's go down to an F. And I sort of just know that this will sound better just from having played a lot of bass lines. So I'm going to go with this, and you'll hear how it sounds when we play it back at the end. Okay, C minor 7. Then the notes of the triad are C, E flat, and G. So I'm just going to put in 2 E flats here. My target is F, so that works. And for this one, my target is a B flat, so I'm going to start at the end actually. I'm just going to put an A here while I work out what I'm going to put here. I think an A as well. Dee-doo, dee-doo. That should be okay. B flat. Yeah, I could put 2 Ds in. That will work. Let's do that. And what have we got here? Going to an E flat in the next bar. So we can also play the same note more than once. Sometimes you don't want to do that, but it is actually okay. So maybe I'll change this to an F. I'll have 2 Fs. Sometimes you can do this and it'll sound fine. The most important thing to keep in mind about walking bass lines is if it sounds good, it is good. So I can tell you, like, don't play the same note 2 times in a row. That's a good rule to live by, but you don't always need to just use these rules. If it sounds good, then it is good. That's the most important thing. And I'm going to do that again. I'm going to put in 2 B flats. I'm going to put a D here because my target note's an E flat here. And I'm kind of moving through this fairly quickly because this video is already getting pretty long. So, okay, E flat minor 7. Let's do another E flat. And I'll put a G flat here to lead up to the A flat. And the triad notes A flat 7 are A flat, C, E flat. So this will work nicely, just put in 2 Cs. And for this bar, the triad notes are D flat, F, and A flat. This will work quite nicely too. I'll just put in 2 Fs, which leads me into the G. F major 7, F, A, and C. I'll put in 2 Fs. This will be nice. Da da do da. That'll sound quite good. And B flat 7. B flat, D, and F are our triad notes. Now I'll do the same thing and put in 2 B flats here. The most important thing in walking bass lines is to get beat 4 to beat 1 sounding nice and smooth. And our final chord, I'll just put in 2 A's here. This will work quite nicely. Just put in A. And I'm thinking about having this bass line loop. So I'm going to put some repeats in here. I'll put a repeat up there, a repeat down here. The A is going to lead quite nicely back into the F for the next bar. Okay, so that is our completed walking bass line. Now that we have this walking bass line completed, the most important thing you can do is just to play it over and over and over again. This will get these ideas into your head, and this will help you to play these types of walking bass lines without having to write them out. You'll see these chords and you'll just instantly play lines like this. But the only way to get there is just to write out bass lines and just to play them. Get them into your playing. Let's hear what this bass line sounds like. That's all we have time for in this lesson. I hope you found the information presented useful. If you would like copies of any of the exercises that we worked on in this lesson, or a copy of any additional resources, you can find them on my Patreon page. A link is in the description. Thank you very much, and until the next one, take care.